There you go, background needs to be yellow. Oh, cool. And Nokia, no, not Nokia, and ProZZero. In the white, so that's terribly convenient. We already have that. So without further ado, I present to you this next awesome game of goodness. We have in the bottom left-hand corner ProZZero as the white Zerg, and in the top left-hand corner Bandy as the yellow Zerg. I have to make a terrible confession to everybody right now, just so I don't get set upon at any point during this game by angry commenters, that my strong point is not ZVZ. I mean, I'm not terrible. I know a fair bit. I know good odds and ends, but it is not my forte. I'm not like a B plus A minus player who notices every single thing about ZVZ. I can't count mutalisks magically, and I can't do this and that. So you will have to bear with me a little bit, but I should be able to give you a pretty good rundown of things. I of course have no idea who's the favourite in this game, because I don't have their profiles up. Spawning pools going down at pretty much the same time. Slightly later spawning pool for Bandy, but no biggie. Very slight discrepancy in the build. Gas also going down from both players. Same supply, Bandy slightly ahead on economy, maybe. And again, very, very, very small deal. We'll call it exactly the same for the moment. Overlord's just heading on out. And Bandy manages to scout ProZZero, so of course ProZZero will now be able to scout Bandy. A hatchery going down from each player, but Bandy taking the risk, placing the hatchery down at the natural. This of course does give him his work cut out for him. He's going to have quite a defence on his hands. He's going to have to be a little wee bit careful. So, Bandy just making some stuff, hatching only 2 Zerglings as far as I can see, and the lair already started from ProZZero. Bandy starting his a little bit later and getting an extra 2 lings in the process, so they're going to be sent straight out, but ProZZero should be in a perfectly decent position to defend this wee little attack that he's got coming at him. I hope the replay bar is now hidden, by the way. As far as I can see, I have something over it, but I don't know. I guess I'll find out once again in between the games, but I really hope it's now hidden. I've done my absolute best for you guys. A few lings positioned at the top of the ramp. You might want to get them into a proper concave and hold position to prevent the scouting lings from getting in. Oh, get up that ramp, get up that ramp. No, it looks like he's going to be denied any scouting information. Yeah. ProZZero holding that off pretty easily. Bandy looking like he may just get away with this expansion without being scouted too early at all. Producing a few extra lings, but ProZZero is of course doing the same, so it doesn't really count at all in one way or the other. Let's have a look. Creep colony going down already from ProZZero, so a bit edgy there. Slightly edgy play, and of course that does put him a drone down. Spire going down for Bandy and ProZZero at pretty much the same time. ProZZero is slightly earlier, but Bandy should be able to be producing more mutas as the game draws on. He will of course have that extra gas and maybe a little bit of extra minerals, although of course he can't saturate the minerals in Zerg v Zerg, so it's largely irrelevant as to how many drones he got going on. A few more lings careering towards the base of ProZZero, going to try and poke up that ramp to do some damage, but he will immediately see that there is a soaking colony. He will of course instantly know that that is very expensive in CVZ, and so that does give him a relatively good position in which he can maybe make a couple more drones and get mining the gas at that natural, which is a very big deal in Zerg v Zerg, because you need that mutalisk count. You really, really need that mutalisk count. Spire's almost done for both players. ProZZero trying to actually push out a little bit. I guess he feels really safe in front of that sunken colony. Bandy losing Zergling for free. No speed yet for ProZZero, so that could make things a little bit tricky for him. Microing against speed Zerglings, almost getting the position on ProZZero, but Bandy having to pull back, seeing that he is at a numbers disadvantage. Though he is of course at a great micro advantage rather, given that he has speed and ProZZero does not yet have speed. Gas being lane down already. That is a very, very interesting move from ProZZero. Sticking down the gas at his natural expansion. I guess he's going to be distance mining that with this hatchery here, which is really pretty curious and not something I can admit to having seen in the past. But a lot of Scourge going out pretty early, and he may be able to camp directly above all these Mutalisks, and this could be really horrible for Bandy. Dealing a massive amount of damage, ProZZero, and he could just manage to kill all these mutas. Is it going to go down? Do the micro, do the micro, do the micro. One more Mutalisk goes down, and that is a big, big, big blow for Bandy. But of course, this does mean that ProZZero's Mutalisk production is very slow to start, and he's having to pull a lot of drones to do this crazy distance mining at his second hatchery. I'm not quite sure how this is going to work out for him, but we will of course see. Having to invest a lot in this, and that's more drones than you would usually see off one base in a Zerg v Zerg. Actually getting supply blocked, Bandy, and losing a lot more drones, losing 2 drones for absolutely free. Bandy looking in an increasingly horrible position after that really, really bad early start with the Mutalisk. And a couple more Scourge may be able to catch him out here, chasing after them, going to do some funky micro. Not catching anything coming out of that egg right now, Mr. ProZZero. Going to have to pull back with those Scourge. Oh, and another big hit on the Mutalisk, and 1 Scourge being taken down as well. Really, really surprising play from Bandy here, I feel. He's really, really letting it slip quite a lot. Still hatching Mutalisks, still not giving up hope yet, because there's this very, very weird thing going on from ProZZero, which I can't quite picture what it's doing for his economy. I guess he's put, let me see how many drones, is that 5 drones he's got going on there? That's a really pretty major investment in Zerg v Zerg. But pushing on nonetheless. Oh, Ling getting taken out there by the Mutas in cold blood. Mutas pushing across the map from Bandy. I'm not sure if this is a good idea at all. ProZzzero has produced plenty, and he also has a good number of Scourge. Getting a good hit off on ProZzero's Mutalisk, and ProZzzero having to pull back with both his Scourge and his Mutas. Having more faith in Bandy's micro than I clearly do. Pushing him off his Overlord there, and seeing him back across to his side of the map. Bandy, of course, might be able to gain an advantage in the long term, given that he has this extra base up. But ProZzzero still in a pretty good position. Oh, doing some cool micro, taking out the Scourge. Very, very adept by ProZzzero. Doing a good job of saving his Mutalisks, which is really the kind of thing that's going to keep him in the lead in this game. These Mutas just chilling in Bandy's base. A couple of Overlords actually moving out with them. Not sure if that's the best idea. Might want to pull one of them back. And some Scourge finally out. And he could get a pretty big score if he manages to take out a couple of these Overlords here. Will he get the second one? No, he won't. He's going to have to pull back. And ProZzzero coming with a whole lot of Scourge and a lot of Mutalisks going down. That was a horrible engagement for Bandy. And this is surely going to clean it up for ProZzzero now that he has a massive, massive Mutalisk advantage in this game. Really, really horrible for Bandy there. Losing a whole crap load of stuff. And surely his drones are going to be at the absolute mercy of ProZzzero now. Not a pretty position to be in. Scourge going down. Decent enough micro from ProZzzero, and he's just going to have an absolute festival with these drones. Just going to destroy them. Poor, poor drones. Always feel sorry for workers. Some more Mutalisks coming in for Bandy, but he's still outnumbered. And there is the timely GG from the yellow player, Bandy. Bam! Really, really interesting play there from ProZzzero. Managing to get an advantage right from the beginning. That very, very clever Scourge timing meant he got a really, really great foot